Hey YouTube, it's me, The Addict, and I'm here with another 5 tips to teach you how to easily climb the Season 10 ranked ladder by playing the support role in League of Legends. Thank you again for all your feedback for my previous support tip video. Make sure to go check that one out if you haven't already. I really did appreciate all the comments, so I'm hoping you guys will do the same for this one. In that tip video, the most valuable tip revolved around controlling a quadrant of a map. So I'm going to keep sharing with you similar tips that are unique and may not be as well known. Remember, anyone can reach Diamond by playing support. It just takes hard work, dedication, and continual improvement. Tip number 1. Play aggressive when your jungler is on strong side and more cautiously when your jungler is on weak side. During laning phase, if you imagine the map divided in half through mid lane, you can split the map into what is called strong side and weak side. Strong side is when you have more teammates on that side of the map, while weak side is when you have fewer teammates. During laning phase, if your jungler is on your half of the map, you are playing what is known as strong side. The advantage of playing on the strong side means you have priority in your lane. This means if you want to play aggressively, or if the enemy tries to all-in you, your jungler should theoretically be able to come to your aid very quickly, thus improving the chances you will win the ensuing fight. Remember, your jungler needs to service all areas of the map, so sometimes you will need to play on the weak side and allow your teammates to thrive. You can always wait until your mid or jungler comes to your side of the map if you aren't 100% confident in your engages. Tip number 2. Keep your wave slightly pushed rather than freezing on your side of the lane. I know there are a lot of guides out there suggesting the idea of freezing the lane, which really just means keeping the wave from pushing into a particular tower. In my opinion, the support role is a lot easier to play if you actually have the wave slightly pushed up. This is because a slight difference in CS is actually not as important in solo queue compared to having lane presence. There will be enough mistakes to exploit such that putting your wave in a state slightly ahead will allow you to see more openings. When your wave is pushed up, the enemy support will be less likely to engage so that their ADC can farm the large wave. If any engage begins, the help of your larger minion wave will aid in providing that extra damage you need to win the skirmish. Tip number 3. If your ADC doesn't need help, go roam. Roaming is probably the most important aspect that helped push me from Platinum to Diamond. Explaining when to roam can probably take a whole video in itself, but the general tip here is to roam mid when your ADC is in base or is safely farming under your turret. Make sure the enemy bot duo doesn't have kill pressure. If they do, you are going to have to stay in bot lane more often to defend any turret dives. Remember that in early levels, you are only slightly weaker than your jungler. Applying pressure to mid lane will often lead to a kill. It's almost if your team has a secondary jungler. You may be able to dodge one ganker, but 2 gankers is OP. If you are able to get mid snowballing, he can eventually transfer his lane advantage and hopefully return the favor by ganking your lane later. Give ganks to receive ganks. Tip number 4. Make sure to understand level power spikes. This tip is actually important for any role and will even vary depending on champion matchup. However, I'll just be focusing on the power spike that every player should be aware of in bot lane, the level 2 power spike. In bot lane, you and your ADC will reach level 2 after the first minion wave and 3 melee minions. Getting level 2 first in lane can honestly win you the entire rest of the laning phase, and subsequently the game. Having the ability to reach level 2 in the lane essentially doubles your laning power. Using this small window of opportunity to play aggressively can result in an extremely favorable trade or even a kill. After clearing the first wave, you and your partner want to be able to be the first duo to kill the 3 melee minions of the second wave. If you know you're about to hit level 2 due to a minion advantage, start preparing yourself for the all-in. Look for an engage as soon as you're about to hit level 2 and see if you can catch the enemy support or bot lane out of position. This often results in first blood more than you think. Conversely, if you think the enemy duo is going to hit level 2 first, back off the wave and play safe until you match the opponent's power spike level. Tip number 5. As a support player, we have the mechanically easiest role. We don't have to focus on CSing, so instead, we can use this extra time on our hands to type out flash timers. Every time you notice an enemy champion use their flash, quickly ping out the timer by clicking the flash icon on the enemy team in the scoreboard. Then add 5 to whatever timestamp you've pinged the enemy's flash. Eventually, the higher elo you climb, your teammates will also ping out the enemy's flash. Try to build a habit of keeping track of all enemies' flash timers. If your teammates know when a particular enemy does or does not have flash, they can make faster and better decisions as to when they can all-in an enemy. Once you've become familiar with typing out flash timers, you can start timing other summoner spells such as teleport or heal. Most ranked players will really appreciate you timing out key summoner spells, and this also provides an added benefit of improving overall team morale. Don't worry about teammates calling you tryhard, especially if you're playing ranked. In the comments below, let me know once again which of these 5 tips were most important in your climb. I'm always happy to share my game knowledge with the community. If you enjoyed the content, let me know by hitting that like button and sharing this with other like-minded support players who want to learn more. If you are able to add these 5 important tips to your gameplay, getting to a new peak rank will be absolutely no trouble at all.
Untiltable.
They alive, damn it. It's a miracle.
Untiltable.
They alive, damn it.
Streamers.
All strong and
Untiltable.
they alive, damn it. It's a miracle.
Untiltable.